Good evening, Flosstube friends. At least it's evening here where I am. Today is Wednesday, January 6th, and I am so glad to be back with you guys. I have been wanting to do a video for months, and it's just been a busy time, as I'm sure it has been for all of you too. So I really thought, okay, I'll do a New Year's Eve or an end of the year video, and then the end of the year came and went, and I thought, well, I'll do a New Year's video, and now New Year's has come and gone, and I'm on the 6th, and so I decided, okay, I'm doing it tonight. I don't have everything around me that I wanted to be able to show you, but I've got a lot to show you. I am participating in Whip Go this year. I've never done that before, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've got plenty of whips to choose from, like I'm sure all of you have. But I put a few new starts in my Whip Go board. Not that I didn't have enough current whips, but I've got some things that I really wanted to start, and I'll show you that in a minute. Anyway, I'm doing the Whip Go board, and I'm also part of the Daily 30 group that Cheryl heads up, and so there are some challenges that will be going on with that. And so I enjoy being a part of groups because it kind of holds me accountable to touch certain projects that I've been wanting to work on. And so I'll just jump right in and show you I've got 4 focus projects this year that I really wanted to put a little more attention into and hopefully get those done this year. One of those being my sparrow piece. His eye is on the sparrow. I started this a couple of years ago when I was caring for my mom, and after she passed, I didn't work on it for quite some time. And I had hoped, last year I picked it back up, and I had hoped to have the bottom half completed by, I'd kind of set a goal for myself for the end of October. And I did not meet that goal, but you know, that's okay, it was just a goal. And I didn't meet it, but that doesn't mean I have to put it away, so I'm still plugging along with it. As a matter of fact, this is what I worked on a good bit of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and I was working on the border, and so I had already done the bottom border and most of the 2 sides of the border, and so I rounded the corner at the top and made my way around to where it was going to join up, and I was off by 1 stitch. 1 stitch. So I started, you know, counting back, and I'll show you a picture. If I can get my son to add a picture in here, maybe I can get him. Let's see, Asa, can you get the picture to post right here? We'll pretend for just a minute that all this editing is working, and he's going to put a picture right here of where I was when I realized I had made my mistake. And so I had to frog all the way back to the upper, I had made it all the way to the upper right-hand corner. I had to frog all the way to the upper left-hand corner. So I got all that frogged out in I did most of my frogging during a Zoom meeting with my guild girls. So it wasn't quite so painful. But my husband tells me that's just, I'm a process stitcher and not a project stitcher. And so I just enjoy the journey, and he tells me that that's just part of the journey. And he's right. He's right. You know, that's just part of it. And I have to keep telling myself that because Lord knows I have been making my share of mistakes lately. I just don't, anyway, I'm not really sure why. So anyway, here is my upper left-hand corner, and as you can see now, I'm making my way back to the right-hand corner. Now, when I did this upper border, before I ripped it all out, I had done like I did here, and I had already included all of these little stems and leaves. So now when I go back and try to reconnect this border and make sure that it's going to connect over here, I'm just going to do this single stitch border part because I don't want to put that much effort into it, and then if I'm off again, have to rip all that stuff out again. So I'm going to do the simple version first. But so that was just the border that I was talking about. But as you can see, I've gotten a good bit done on the bottom half. Can't see where I'm showing you, but anyway, I still truly love this piece. Love it, love it, love it. So I am setting a new goal that by the 1st of October, I'll have this finished. So that's one reason I wanted to make this a focus piece this year. So that's one of my 4 focus pieces. I dearly love it. And while we're on the subject of ripping out, I swan to y'all, this sampler is going to kill me. It's going to kill me. It is the bane of my existence right now. And I want to love it. I do love it. But oh my stars, I have made, well, I shouldn't say I've made a lot of mistakes. I don't think I have made any mistakes on this one. This is the strawberry sampler. And this is the one where I'm doing a lot of satin stitches with 3 strands of floss. And so, and I stitch in hand. And so I'm having to railroad and re-straighten each satin stitch and try to get those 3 strands to lay straight. So I had worked on, you know, the oh, what's it called, the mortar between the bricks. I had worked on the mortar between the bricks on a section of house this big, I guess, and then I had done the satin stitch for the bricks. Well, I got all of my brick satin stitch that I had worked up, so then I did another section of mortar so that I could go in and do some more bricks. And then I decided I was going to go ahead and do that whole outline of the house, which I did. And then one day I just looked at what I had just done, and I just shook my head. I thought, what in the world, Lorraine, were you thinking? What was I thinking? Okay, I'll just let y'all look at this lovely house here. So I got the outline of the house done. Look at that middle section of windows. See those 3 windows? That's supposed to be 4 windows that line up with the windows above it and below it. What was I looking at when I stitched those windows? I don't know, y'all. I don't drink and I don't do drugs, and I can't blame it on wine or painkillers or anything like that. I don't know what was I thinking. I have no idea where my head was when I stitched those windows and all these little bricks that go along with it. So I think the bricks are all lining up okay. So I think if it's possible for me to take those windows out, I think I'll do that. And I don't know that I'm going to have to rip out all those bricks. I hope not. But you know, it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the journey. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. It's going to be a lovely sampler. And Sharon Worm and I are going to be kind of holding each other accountable on this one. I think this is one of her focus pieces this year too. So we're going to be hopefully Zooming and working on these together. So Sharon, oh, help keep me straight. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Y'all, I'm not normally, I'm a very careful stitcher. I'm a perfectionist. I usually count and recount. I don't know. I just have no words. I have no words. Okay, another focus piece is A Savior's Praise. I'm looking around because I had four focus pieces, and now I only see 3 of them. And I'm trying to remember what the other one was, but I think I remember, and I hope I have it out here. Okay, anyway, A Savior's Praise, which is another one I had to do a restart on, but unfortunately this one was not my fault. If y'all will remember, this is the one that I started working on, and I had all of this done, and I was showing it at a stitching group that I am a part of, and I don't know, for some reason I just kind of ran my hand down here, and my thumb went through a hole in the fabric, and I was just sick. So apparently there was a hole in this linen when I purchased it. So I just turned it around and started on the other end. I'm sure I'll have to rip that out at some point. I just didn't want to rip it out at that point. So I have a restart. Now this fabric is all kind of wonky. As I said, it has the hole in it. It was cut some kind of wonky. I pulled a thread starting here, and y'all can see the thread. See how far off that was cut? My word. So, but it's beautiful fabric. I love the colors in it, and this is pretty, what y'all are seeing I think is pretty true, and I think it will be beautiful for A Savior's Praise. So this is my newest start on A Savior's Praise. So there's not a huge section of it that's complete, but as I said, this is going to be one of my focus projects this year. So I'm sure I probably won't get this one finished, but I should get a lot done on this one this year. My goal is not to complete this one, it is just to get a good hunk of this done. I was doing this as a stitch along with Lynette and Amy, and I'm sure they have taken off and left me in the dust, but I'm going to enjoy working on that one. And so my 4th focus piece was going to be the Marybelle Christmas stockings. And let's see. I'll show you those when I get down. It's kind of in the bottom of the stack here, so I'll show you those when I get down to that. Okay, so the other, the Whip Go group that I'm a part of, you had to choose 24 or 25. The Whip Go board has 25 squares in it. The middle square could be a free space if you so choose. So you could choose up to 25 different projects to work on, and they didn't all have to be cross stitch. I think some people may be putting some knitting, and some people may be putting some diamond painting. I'm not really sure, but the majority of mine are current whips. I do have a couple of new starts that I had put in there. As I said, it's not because I didn't have enough whips, but it's some new starts that I have wanted to start for a long time. And I'll just show you, the first one is Sally Spencer sampler. And the irony of it is the sentiment on this sampler is sooner begun, sooner done. And I keep putting it off and putting it off. I've wanted to do this ever since it came out a couple of years ago, 2, 3, I don't even know how many years ago this thing came out. And I got it immediately because I tend to be a procrastinator, and I don't want to be. And I'm really working on that. The Lord is still working on me in that area. But I really want to work on this. So I actually don't even have this on my Whip Go board, so I think I'm going to update my Whip Go board and put this one on there and start on it in the month of January. They've already called the numbers for January, and this was not, of course, this was not on my board, and so this is not one called. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start this in January and change it out with another one that's on my board. Some of my squares I have duplicates on. because I really wanted to focus on some of those projects, but I think I'm going to take out one of the duplicates and put this in. And so I want to start on it in January so that when it actually is called in future months, it will technically be a whip. I don't think you'd have to do that. Jessie Marie is the originator of this group, and she's so easygoing and laid back as far as the rules for the group. You kind of pretty much make up your own rules. So it's not like anybody's going to slap my hands and say you can't work on that because that's a new start and it's not a whip. That's not even technically against the rules. It's just something I want to do. So anyway, I want to start on Sally Spencer. I know a lot of people have already done this. I love it. And like I say, I love the sentiment behind it, and I'm not going to keep putting it off anymore. I'm going to get that one started. Let's see. What is this one? This one is a project that we got out at a retreat that our guild went on in Helen, probably 2 years ago maybe. The retreat had a bee theme to it, and so all of the participants got the queen bee pin cushion. Oh, and I meant to bring, I have the little wooden bowl that this will sit down on top of. I'll show that maybe in my next video. But anyway, I thought this was really sweet. I wanted to mix in a few smalls in with my other projects because I typically work on big projects. As you can see, my 4 focus, well, you've only seen 3 of my focus projects, but they're big ones. And so I did want to throw in a few smalls in there so that maybe I could get something finished. And so this is my meager little, it's not a meager little start, but here's my little start on the pin cushion. So this one shouldn't take long. Whenever this number is called, I should be able to finish this one. So I'm enjoying that one. This one is on, I'm not sure what fabric. I'm stitching it with one strand over 2. I want to say it's 32 though. Oh no, it may be 40. It calls for 40 count Patriots Brew by R&R. That's not what this is, but I do think it may be 40 count. And I am stitching it with 1, and I'm stitching it with the DMC conversions. We got the flosses in with our kit, and they came with the DMC conversions. And so I just wrote down the little symbols on there. Had the little bee floss tag. That was really sweet. So that one should be, I should be able to get that one finished. Okay, another one that I'm working on, and these are in no particular order, by the way. Oh, this one is an oldie. I have no idea where I got this or when I got this. It's a chart called Bless Our Home by Imaginating. And like I say, I have had this a long time. And I think this may have been one of my birthday starts when I first started Flosstube. So I don't know how many years that's been, 3 or 4 years ago when I started this, and it was old, you know, then. So this is the chart, Bless Our Home. And my daughter was over here one day and saw the chart and really liked that. She said, "Oh, Mom, I really like that." So that's the reason I'm making this one, because she really liked it. So you're going to be really impressed with my start on this. That's it. That is it. And I'm going to have to ponder and think to figure out, you know, which way is up on this one, but I'll get it figured out. So it only calls for a couple of colors. It's just the cotton and maybe the black or dark brown back stitching on it. But like I said, this is one of my Whip Go pieces. It's not really a focus piece. So my goal with my Whip Go board is to do 500 stitches on each of my pieces. So that may be all I get done on this is the 500 pieces, but that's 500 more than I would have. I probably would not even touch that piece this year had it not been for the whip go. So I like the fact that it's causing me to touch some of these projects that I might not ordinarily touch. Okay, this one is, what is this one? Oh, I love this one. This one is the Industrious Bee sampler by Theron Traditions. Isn't that beautiful? I love this one. And some of y'all may know that I was a beekeeper for a short while. I only had 2 hives, and I lost both of my hives last winter. Not this winter, but the last, no? Yes, before spring. Before spring, this past spring, they were gone. And so I did not get new bees this summer, but I will start again, hopefully in the spring. So here is my little start on the Industrious Bee. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. So hopefully I will work more than 500 stitches on this one. But if not, it's my hands will be on it again, so that'll be fun. Okay, another one. Uh-oh, I'm spilling it. This one is, oh, I'm almost finished with this one. This is the LW sampler, the LW motif sampler by Samplers Not Forgotten. This is my prayer piece. I started this one, Carol Saltbox Stitcher had mentioned this sampler when her daughter was going through her cancer treatments and asked those of us that were so inclined to please stitch on this and pray for her daughter, and I did indeed start doing that. And I had quite a few friends and family that I found out were battling cancer about that same time, and so I added them to the list of people I prayed for as I stitched on this, and it has truly been an honor to do that. And I'm actually going to miss it when this is finished. So I just have a little bit down here and right in there, and this one will be finished. So yeah, I will finish this one up when this one is called, I'm sure. I was stitching on this one. This was I try to stitch on something for 30 minutes every day, and this was my 30-minute project for a while. And it's no longer my 30-minute everyday project, so anyway, I will probably finish that one up soon, whenever that number's called. Okay, the next one is Always Thankful by Erica Michaels. This was the first silk gauze piece that I ever worked on. And I think I have finished all of the words on this one. So now it's just working on some of the little motifs down, or the leaves or motifs down here. And let's see, I've got to do this little row of this border, and then the rest will be background fill in. I've got all the words done, so then it will just be mindless filling in of the background. So that one should not take a long time to do. And I have to say, I enjoyed working on silk gauze. I understand that they're not making it anymore. So I have quite a few kits that have, from Erica Michaels, that have the silk gauze. So I'm glad that I have those. I think that I will enjoy working on those in the future. Alrighty, another one. Oh, now this one is an old one. This one I found in an old drawer not too long ago when I was cleaning out some stuff in my storage room in the basement. And I found pieces, I found part of it in one drawer, and then, you know, several months later I found floss in another drawer, and I didn't even know that the floss went with this, because my floss, well, the chart itself, did I tell you what I'm working on, Eleanor Taylor? sampler by the Exemplary. And the flosses are, the flosses came, it must have come in a kit. And so the flosses were not, they weren't in whole skeins. They gave you a section of flosses. And so they weren't really, you didn't know what numbers they were. They're DMCs, but it just gives a description like gold light, gold dark, gray, green, medium, that kind of thing. And so I had put all of my flosses in, this is old, I'm telling you, old. It may be, oh golly, when was this made? I want to say this may be 20 years old. Copyright 1979. Now, I don't know if I got this in 1979. I probably got it not too long after that. It has been in my possession a long, long time. And I laughed when I looked at this because I have all of the flosses in their own little bag, but I have a little piece of paper towel with the letter and with the letter and symbol marked on the pieces of paper towel. I mean, at least they're marked and separated. But so when I found these in a drawer, I had no idea what this was for, and I found the pattern, and I thought, I think I remember working on that, but I didn't find the actual linen. So then last year, I think, I found this. And I put out a plea on Facebook and I said, does anybody recognize this? And someone, and I wish I could remember now who it was, someone was kind enough to tell me that that was the Eleanor Taylor sampler. And I went, yay! So I was able to put all three of those components together. So now, she is on my Whip Go board and I will be working on her this year. So I am excited to start working on Eleanor again. Okay, another one that I'm going to be working on is Forever and Ever. This is one by Brenda Gervais that I started working on at a retreat that I went to. I think this was maybe Cindy's retreat. Maybe it was a couple of years ago. Let's see, I can tell you. It was in the fall of 19, the fall of 19, because my anniversary was coming up, and so I started this for my anniversary. I think it's really pretty, and that's the only time I've worked on it, was there at that retreat, so there's not a lot that has been accomplished. I've got a meager little start. I don't even know what this is. I guess this is the side border and bottom, maybe? Yeah. I think that's this part. I love this fabric. I don't think I wrote down what this fabric is, but it's really pretty. It looks like, let's see, what was it called for? 40 count sheep straw by R&R. I know this is not sheep straw. The pattern is just printed. It's a printed pattern on one side. Let's see if you can see it back here. Yeah. So it's printed on one side and not the other. But I love working on it. So this one will be fun to dig back out. I haven't touched that one in a couple of years. Okay, another one that I'm going to be working on is the red and green Carnation sampler. I started this with my friend Cheryl for Thanksgiving. She was trying to decide what sampler she wanted to start for as her Thanksgiving start, and this was one of her choices, and I said, oh, start that one and I'll start it with you. And so she and I both started ours, and that's pretty much all I can say about mine. I started mine. She has taken off, and hers really looks pretty, but I just barely have a little start on mine. So this went on my Whip Go board, and I will work on this year. This was a club kit from the Schoolgirl Sampler Society. So as you can see, all I did was start the border. But she will get some attention this year as well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going off with some friends coming up soon, and I'll probably take that one with me and work on it some too. Okay, the next one, oh, here is another oldie. Maybe back around the same time frame as the Eleanor Taylor one. As a matter of fact, here, got a nice stain on this one. This is the Folk Art Sampler, and I don't have, all I have is my working copy here. Here again, I will see if my son can insert a picture here of what this should look like. I found this, and actually I found another whole kit at a thrift store a year or so ago. I found a whole kit of this at a thrift store, and so I gave it away on my channel. And I thought, well, I'll get this back out and work on it. I think I may have worked on it just a little bit, and it's an all red sampler, as hopefully you could see. But this is one of those, you know, DMC changed their reds several years ago, changed the dye lots on the reds. And I obviously started this with the old reds and then picked it back up and started stitching with the new reds. And I don't know if you can see the difference, probably not in here, but I can kind of tell the difference. So I think I may rip out all the new work that I did, and I think I've still got a few. I may have a couple of skeins of the old, I think it's $4.98. I think I may have a few old $4.98 skeins. If not, I may need to rip out the old and restitch with the new. I'm not sure which one I should do, but I think I will rip out one or the other, and so that I can make sure that they're all done with the same one. So one of the girls that I work with, Linda, is working on this as well, and she's got hers probably 2/3 finished, and it is so sweet. I really, really love it. I'm working on, here again, I think this may have been I started to say, I think it was a kit, but that came with Ada, and I didn't want to do mine on Ada, and I'm not sure what this is that I'm working on, but it is a linen. But it's old, and I'm going to enjoy having that one done one day. Alrighty, another one in my Whip Go pile is Martha Pudsey by the Scarlet House. As you can tell, I love samplers. So here is Martha. I love Adam and Eve samplers as well. So this one, you know, this may have been, I'm not sure what occasion I started this. Seems like there was a certain occasion that I started this for, but I don't remember what it was. But all I did was start on the border. I need to cut my fabric because I've got a whole yard of fabric here that I haven't cut. And all it's going to take is, you know, I think I've got from one corner to the other here. So it's not going to take, of course, this whole yard. So I need to cut that. But that's all I have gotten done on this. And I will probably continue with that border and make sure that my border matches up before I stitch any more on that one. What's that phrase? I don't know the phrase. Can't even come up. It's late. I'm getting tired. Okay. Okay, this one is one that I inherited. It was in with some things that I was given, but I don't remember who it was I got this from. I want to say this was in some things that I got from Susan Richardson that used to own Abecedarius in Marietta. I think she had started this and I got it and was going to finish it. This is called the Mary Spinney Sampler. By the Exemplary. Here is a color copy. I love that. And so she had started this on this fabric, and of course I have no idea what the fabric is. And I did not iron this beforehand, so my apologies. But it's a very small start, but it is a start, and it's from my friend Susan, so I'm gonna happily finish this up. The problem is, this is another one of those charts that was a kit, and so it came with the flosses, and unfortunately the flosses aren't with it any longer, and so I'm just going to have to pull some flosses that that I think would work as a light hazelnut brown or a light coral or a medium yellow beige. If anyone has done this sampler, and you know what colors these are supposed to be, what shades of DMC, if you could let me know, I would really appreciate that. I'm not expecting that because, like I say, this is a very old chart and it came as a kit, and I don't think any of those flosses were even named as far as their DMC colors. But if that's out there and available and you know what it is, I sure would appreciate it. Thanks. Alrighty, this is one of my 4 focus pieces. I finally worked my way down to it. This is the Marybelle Christmas stocking. I have loved these stockings ever since they first came out. And I kind of was in a quandary. I didn't know how to start them. Do I start with the first one for my husband and then maybe the second and then my oldest third, and go down the line? But then what do you do when these children get married? How do you plug in? It was just a quandary. So I'm just not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to stitch some and not really even put names on them yet. This is I don't even know why I started on this one as the first one, because this is number, I think this is number 7 maybe. It's a terrible lighting. But for those of y'all that aren't familiar with the Marybelle line of stockings, it tells the story of Christ through the book of Luke in the Bible. And so they're kind of in order, because this one is Luke 2, 12, 13, and 14. So, is it going to look weird if I have Luke, the later verses in Luke that come before this one? I don't think people are really going to notice that much. So I'm just going to quit worrying about it, and I'm just going to do them and put them up. This is where I am on this one. Here again, I've got a huge piece of fabric, and I just started at the bottom. So I started at the bottom of the stocking, and I'm working my way up. So I've got the toe, and I'm working straight on up now. So this one shouldn't take a lot more work. I am right in here. So this, like I said, this is going to be one of my focus pieces. So I will probably get this one done this year. I'm shooting to get this one done this year because I want to do all 10 of the Christmas stockings. Not this year, but I do want to get all 10 of them done. And I ain't getting no younger, y'all. And I got some big things I want to do. I almost put "and they send." I almost put "and they send" on my whip-go board, and I'm still real tempted to do that. I want to do that one. That one and, what's the other one? It'll come to me. It's another big one. But I fought it. Okay. This is another one that I inherited. It is called Hedgerow Birds, and it's by Barb and Alma. And if I can find it, I will put a picture here for that. This one, I think all I have is the working copy here that I inherited. And it appears that you could have made a project bag from this pattern. It gives you the cross stitch pattern for the front and for the back. And did I say I'm going to try to put a picture here? This is what was done. So it's not real big. So I'm going to try to finish that. And I don't know if I will try to do the front and the back and try to make it as they had charted it, or if I'm just going to just do the one piece. I'm not really sure. Alrighty, here's another one that I have not started, but I will start before it's called. This is a chart by Heartstring Samplery. Thou God seest me. I love that. Here again, it's a small one, but I love it, and I really want to get this one done. So it doesn't call for a lot of fancy floss. It's this one was stitched on 28 count, 1 thread over 2, and that's probably what I will do as well. So I will get that one started probably before the end of this month. Alrighty, another one that I'm going to be working on this year is the Redbird Sampler by Heart and Hand. I've got a meager little start on that one. I love all these little bird samplers that she has, the Ye Old Crow and the Redbird Sampler, and she has several of them that I really like, and I'll probably wind up doing most of those. I think there's a black and white sampler, spring sampler that I will probably do before this spring. Okay, another one that I am working on is, and I don't have the cover photo in here. Okay, here again, I will put a picture of that here. This one is Faith of the Heart. Love this one. This is another, this is by R&R. This fabric is by R&R. I want to say it's espresso. So there's a mirrored bird on this side of the house. And it says, God finds a low branch for the bird that cannot fly. I just love that. I think it's so sweet. So I'm looking forward to working on that one again. I love that one. Alrighty, getting near the end. This is the longest video I have ever made, y'all, I think. I didn't intend on being here this long. So I'll wrap it up pretty quick here. This is a chart that a dear friend loaned me, and I love it. I do not have a cover photo, so I'm going to show that here. This is, what's the name of this one? Pledge of Allegiance, 1892 by the Pen Keep. I have a little start on this one. Now this fabric was just a white fabric. I don't even know, I'm assuming it's a Zweigart fabric because it has the orange stripe, but it was white, and I tea-dyed this. I wish I had grunged it up a little bit more, but this looks like the cover photo. So I'll see. Once I get it done, I may try to grunge it up a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I am using hand-dyed flosses on this one, so I won't be able to like dunk it. I would just kind of have to randomly try to grunge it up, and I don't know that I want to take that chance, so I'll probably just go with it like it is, but I like it. It still looks a little grungy, so I like that one. And so I really think that this is a great one to work on during this time for our country. This one I'm working on, I've been doing this as my 30-minute a day this week. Thought it was appropriate. The last one I'm going to show you here is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I know y'all have all seen these. I am not doing mine all as all one piece. I am only doing the blocks that have the song verses in them. And so I started with this one. And we have a group that meets together, that met together back before everything got shut down. And so the only time I ever worked on this piece was when we met together, our Hawk Run group got together. And so I have pretty much been hanging on to that. I'm just working on it when the Hawk Run group gets together. So I have not worked on it since then. I'm hoping that our group starts meeting together soon. If nothing else, maybe we can Zoom. We haven't been doing Zoom meetings, so if the quarantining continues, I hope that we can somehow get together. This is my meager little first block. I thought I would do these as Christmas ornaments, but I'm not sure. This may be a little large for a Christmas ornament. I'm not sure. One of the girls in our group did not do all of these. She just did select ones, and she didn't even use the same fabric for all of them, but she joined them all together, and they were gorgeous. Gorgeous when she put them all together and framed them together. So that may be what I do on those. All right, we are already at 46 minutes. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I've got a couple more things that I will be doing for my whip go, but I will leave that for another time. I have enjoyed being with you guys. I've missed you. I hope you all have a happy and healthy and prosperous new year. And you're all staying safe, and you are staying connected with those you love. Hopefully, I am going to be creating more videos this year. My videos in the past have been pretty sporadic, and I'm going to try to do a couple a month. I don't know that I will have a lot of content to do many more than that, but I will try to. I'm going to shoot for trying to do 2 a month, 1 a month at least. So that being said, until I see you again, happy stitching.